Yeah. Hey, Logan. I wanted to ask you, obviously you went through a coaching change in the middle of a season for the first time last year. How much different is it now that Bob is going to be here, his staff is in place, he's not the interim guy anymore? Just from a player's perspective, how does that change, the mindset a little bit, if at all?
Yeah, I don't know if it changes it that much, honestly. I think when Boogie came in last year, we all wanted to play hard for him and win some games, and we changed some things up with the way that we were going to play, and then we changed a few things this year with the new coaching staff, and they brought in some different things to add to our games. So I think the first, what is it, day 4, day 5, there's been a lot of new things thrown at us, but I think guys have responded well, and there's a little bit of excitement when you kind of change up the systems and new things are thrown at you. So it's been fun.
He talked about, a meeting on the first day, I guess it would have been the 30th or 31st,
Yeah.
just stressing how last year's training camp, how he didn't like it. And he wants guys to maybe just take it a little bit more seriously. I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, but what was the message that day, and how do you think it's been through the first week?
I think it's been great. I think the pace today was the best it's been. The first game was a little sloppy, but I mean, I think that's to be expected. It was our first, or a lot of guys' first 5-on-5 action in 9-10 months. There's still summer hockey habits for everyone, but we have a couple more scrimmages coming up. We've got a bunch more skates to get ready. I think, I don't even know what the date is right now. I think we're probably at about 9 days before our first game. So this next week, I think the pace is going to pick up, and guys are going to get more dialed in.
Do you sense that there is maybe a renewed focus or more of a focus on camp this year, just based on last year?
I think there has to be, regardless of last year. I think we look at the situation that we're in. Everyone's camp is shortened. We had a few extra days, but this is still a short camp. I think camp is normally around 21 days, and you get to play 5 or 6 exhibition games. So, this is obviously, we don't play any, and it's only a 13-day camp with 2 days off. So we're on the ice 11 times. So, guys need to dial it up and be ready to go. So I like the way that the camp is progressing. I think each day guys have gotten better and the pace has quickened. So it's been good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Dan Rosen.
Hey, Logan.
Hey, Dan.
Just a couple of days now you guys have been there on the road in the hotel. I'm curious, are you used to it now? Is this becoming a little bit more normal?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, first of all, the staff here and our staff did a phenomenal job. The dressing room, the setup at the rink. I was shocked when I walked into the dressing room how well prepared our staff was. All credit to them, because it feels like we're home. It's a little different. We got to walk across and put our skates on, and the ice is a little different, but they've done a great job setting us up. Can't complain. We're in a nice hotel. We're in a nice area. I got a balcony that looks out to a golf course, so life's good.
The other question I wanted to ask you was, if you look at the division, people say Vegas, Colorado, St. Louis, top of the division. Do you guys see yourself in that mix? Are you within that mix, do you think?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if we didn't, then we'd have problems. If you can't see yourself making the playoffs, you're probably not going to make the playoffs. So I think that we have a team here that's gonna make the playoffs, and that's the goal every year. Our goal in San Jose is to make the playoffs and see what we can do from there. Once you get in, anything can happen. So there's a belief in the room and in this organization that we play the way that we're capable of. We'll be there at the end of the year.
Shang?
Thanks.
Hey, Logan. I wanted to ask you, sort of early on, a lot of young guys are, vying for jobs here. A couple guys here look like maybe they're moving up a little bit, in John Leonard and Mario Ferraro. What have been your impressions of them in this early going?
Well, John's actually right beside me, so I'll say a lot of good things about him first. But actually, the first time I saw him skate was about a month ago in San Jose, and heard good things about him from our organization, and he's proved them right. He's a very skilled, smart player. Off the ice, he's a very hard worker. On the ice as well. So he's doing good things at the start of this camp. He's impressed a lot of people. So we all hope it continues. And Mario just takes another step from last year. I mean, he came into camp and no one gave him a job. It was he worked for it from from the first day in that rookie camp. And, we were working out in San Jose, and all we could hear about from the coaches was, you gotta see this Ferraro kid. And he proved that he can play, and he's an NHL player, and he's ready to take that next step this year for sure.
And Bob has talked about, wanting the defenseman to be more aggressive offensively in the zone. So what do you guys as the forwards have to do defensively to cover for them?
Yeah, we have to be responsible. If our D are going to be jumping into rushes, and if they're going to be jumping in the offensive zone, we have to make sure that we've got one guy or two guys that are going to back them up. Obviously the last couple of years we've had issues with giving up odd man rushes and giving up, easy goals, tapping goals. So it's on us forwards. It's not only on the defenseman to be responsible, to play a smart game, and back up each other. I mean, that's what successful teams do. They back up other players' mistakes when you're on the ice. So it's up to us forwards.
What do you guys have to do as forwards to prevent these odd man rushes, that sort of thing? Is it sort of maybe a heightened defensive awareness as opposed to previous years in some way?
I don't think so. I think we still you got to stay aggressive. You still want to score goals. You got to score goals to win. So we don't want to be reckless. We want to be smart with the chances that we take defensively, with our defensemen and with our forwards. Just making sure if you're making a pass to the defense, and make sure your feet are moving so you can get back there in case it's turned over. Just be smart with your plays.
And finally, you mentioned having a view of the golf course. Are you able to play golf at this point, or is that kind of painful just to watch?
Yeah, it is. No, we're not. Our rules are pretty tight. We're locked down here, pretty tight. But I've seen enough people tee off on, I don't even know what hole it's on. So I get my daily dose of golf.
All right, thanks a lot, Logan.
Yep.
Curtis?
Hi, Logan. I remember talking to a few players who were on the Barracuda a couple of years ago, and they came into the camp last season and really weren't happy with how they played or how they competed for a job at last year's camp. Are you seeing a difference in some of those guys this year? Maybe more guys trying to take advantage of this opportunity?
I think today was a good day scrimmage wise. I think a lot of guys, competed hard. The pace, excuse me, the pace was quicker than it has been. So that's a good sign. I think a lot of players performed well today. So we just got to continue to build. That's the big thing with this 13-day camp. Guys have been off for so long. The first couple of days were a little sloppy, and we're building right now. So it's been good to see.
Are you looking forward to the first sort of nighttime scrimmage you guys have? That's supposed to be sort of more of a replica of what you'll do during the regular season. You kind of looking forward to seeing that and what happens there?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea from our coaching staff. I think, without the preseason games, it may not seem like a big deal, but when you're used to laying in bed at 8:00 when you're supposed to be playing hockey games, it's going to be a big difference. So I'm looking forward to it, getting back into a typical game day where you have a morning skate and then you eat and then you sleep. So it'll be good for our bodies for sure.
Kevin's been on your line here for the first few days of camp. Yeah. He really wants to establish himself as a top six forward. What have you kind of seen from him so far?
Yeah, he's been good. I mean, Banker's his best when he's carrying the puck and he's making plays. He sees the ice very well. Obviously, he has a deceptive shot where he can pull it and push it around defenders. So for me as a centerman, I'm trying to find him in spots in the slot or on the rush where he can use that shot. He thinks the game well too, so he's pretty easy to play with.
Kevin? Well, looks like we may be down here with Logan. So, Kevin, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just had one more, Logan.
Yep.
Obviously you've been around Martin Jones for a little while here. And let's face it, he's been in the crosshairs from the outside looking in of this team over the last couple of years. What do you sense from him in this camp? Because obviously he worked hard in the offseason with Adam Francilia, and he's gotten the time off now. What have you seen from Martin, and what do you think Devin Dubnyk's arrival can do for the goaltending tandem?
Yeah, he looks determined. He's been working extremely hard in practice. All of our goalies have. They're pushing them pretty good right now. They're out there a while before we start, and they look good. I mean, Joner's made some big saves. Doobie's made some big saves, and the young goalies look good as well. So, hopefully this continues on. Joner, I mean, he's had a great career. His track record his first couple of years here speaks for itself. I think if we defend better as a team, any goalie that we put into the net is going to have more success.